Hello, everybody. This is AK. I'm back. So, we just had Mid Autumn Festival a few days ago, right? And I think the highlight these days is no longer gazing at the moon. It's just munching on mooncakes. I had a little, not too much. It's rather unhealthy, this mooncake thingy. Right, so everything in moderation, right? And in the background, you see a Chinese destroyer that's been decorated with lanterns. I thought this is quite fitting, right? Since it's Mid Autumn Festival, right? So, anyway, the reason for this unexpected video is because I had a chat with someone uh, and apparently he was recently retrenched. He lost his job not to foreign talents but to AI, right? And apparently his daughter, who graduated not too long ago from university, is having a hard time landing a job, right? Because apparently the number of job vacancies for younger people is well, it's not growing. I think from what I know, many entry level jobs can be done by AI these days, right? So AI is a big thing, right? And it's an unstoppable trend, and it's going to grow even bigger. And if we believe some of the people who say that humans human beings will be wiped out by AI in another 10 years, then we should be very worried. But I'm somewhat optimistic that AI should make life better. But it is it would be overly optimistic to think that AI will not be challenging for society when it comes to employment situations, right? So, like I said in a past video, right, DBS retrenched 4,000 staff because their work could be done by AI, right? This was a few months ago, and since then we have had more retrenchment by big companies because for many reasons, but AI is one of them, right? The adoption of AI, and it's not something we can fight, right? So I said in past videos, right? It's not something we can fight. If we can't fight them, we have to join them, and that's the reason why I invested in Alibaba. I still think that Alibaba is cheap, and it is a cheap and easy way for me to gain access to cloud infrastructure business, to the very promising, fast growing AI industry, right? And I'm not selling my position in Alibaba. I'm not trading. I'm just holding on, right? And like I said in one of my past videos, Alibaba was 300 Hong Kong dollars per share before, and I'm very sure it can go back to 300 Hong Kong dollars per share again, and that could even be too cheap. We could see going higher in the years ahead. And that's because, back when it was trading at 300 Hong Kong dollars per share, it was just an e-commerce play, with a bit of fintech thrown in, made the promise of fintech IPO, right? But now, it has morphed into this market leader, one of the market leaders in the cloud infrastructure business, and when it comes to AI modeling, right? So their open source AI is so different from what they were before, right? They have transformed themselves, and this transformation is not going to end here. It's just going to keep growing. It is just the company will just keep morphing into a bigger giant, and China is not going the way of the dodo. AI and cloud infrastructure is not going. They are not going the way of the dodo. They're just going to continue growing. So my investment in Alibaba has I've not looked at it constantly. I looked at it just now, and it has doubled in value, right, from for my initial investment, and it has grown by about 50% in value for my investments that I made subsequently. And it's still early days in my opinion, right? And like I say, 300 Hong Kong dollars per share easy, I think, in the next few years. So I'm just holding on. I don't see any need to add to my position. I have enough exposure. And of course, I'm also in Bitcoin, right? And my holdings in Bitcoin has also grown in value, right? And together, Alibaba and Bitcoin, I said, form about 20% of my portfolio. That's an underestimation. I think together they should be closer to 25% of my portfolio now because their prices have gone up, right? And Bitcoin, I forgot to mention in my last two videos that I bought quite a few, and I've locked them up in cold wallets. But just for fun, I started a dollar cost averaging account in August, just for fun. So every week, the system will automatically buy $100, $200, $100, $200, right? And I just want to see, if someone were to start this year, middle of the year or third quarter of the year, and just dollar cost average all the way, where will this lead them, right, in the next few years, right? Because I think Bitcoin, like I say, is the hardest form of money. It is the hardest form of money, and it's here to stay. It's the future of money. It's the most perfect money we can have. And it's still very early days. Bitcoin is like 10% the market value of gold, and if I believe Bitcoin is digital gold, so we can easily 10 times and become as valuable as gold when it comes to Bitcoin, right? And so that could happen in the next 3 to 5 years, right? If we look at the chart. And so I'm just holding on to the vast majority of my Bitcoin that I bought and I locked up in cold wallets. But this dollar cost averaging experiment is just to see if someone who might not have a lot of money, a big chunk of money to start with, and they're willing to put in some money every week, where will this lead them by, in the next few years, let's say by year 2030, right? If Bitcoin becomes $500,000 or $1 million per coin, what kind of good results will this yield? Would it be significant? Would it be meaningful? I think having some exposure is probably better than not having some. So anyway, this is just a fun experiment that I'm having, right, on the side, right? So that's Bitcoin. And same thing, the tide is coming in, and this is not going to stop. It's just like AI is not going to stop, right? And so the trend, like they say, the trend is your friend, right? And I told this person who said he just recently lost his job to AI, and how his daughter's having a hard time getting employed. And I said, well, these are the trends, it's a bit hard to fight against trends. I mean, you can ignore the trend and do your own thing, but you can't fight against it. But then, of course, if you do that, he'll probably lose out, right? So something for him to think about, right? And we can still invest in good old income generating stocks, right? I'm not giving up on the DBS, OCBC, and UOB. Like I said, they're the foundation of my income portfolio. And the reason why, right, I'm able to just ignore the noise and stay invested in Alibaba and Bitcoin is also because I have a significant and meaningful stream of passive income coming in regularly, right? Very reliable passive income coming in regularly, which means I don't have to trade my Alibaba position. I don't have to trade my Bitcoin position in order to get some cash flow, right? Because I have cash flow from my income producing investments, right? So that's another reason why I am able to stay calm and when there's a drawdown or when there's a pullback in prices, and I don't really have to look at it, right? So like now, Donald Trump says he's going to slap more tariffs on China, and then the market has had just pull back. I wouldn't say it's not a crash. The market had a bit of panic, right? So if we believe that this is just a correction, then what happens is there are many people who will be buying the dip, right? For me, I'm not doing anything drastic, and I'm just letting my dollar cost averaging exercise in the Bitcoin to continue, and I'm just holding on to my positions. I'm not doing anything else, right? But for people who are thinking should they be buying, well, don't ask me. I'm not allowed to give financial advice. I'm just sharing what I'm doing, what I believe in. That's all, right? So if AK can talk to himself, so can you. Bye bye.